There's nothing quite as magical as staying at a Disney Resort hotel. So imagine complimentary rides to and from the park, even extra time with your family in the park. And right now, you can save up to 25% on rooms at select Walt Disney World Resort hotels. So if you're not staying here, just think what you might be missing.
I tried hard to quit smoking, but when we brought our daughter home, that was it. Now I have Nicoderm CQ.
The Nicoderm CQ patch with unique extended release technology helps prevent your urge to smoke all day.
It's the best thing that ever happened to me. Every great why needs a great how.
All right, just for laughs to the left.
By now, you have seen this time for 2 or 3 million. That is Mariah Carey's New Year's Eve performance. It's turned into a battle over what went wrong. Mariah is now speaking out for the first time about it, saying she is mortified. Will she ever perform on live TV again? We'll have much more on that coming up in our next hour.
That is coming up. Also happening right now, President Obama and Vice President-elect Mike Pence both heading to the Capitol today as the fight over the repeal of Obamacare begins. And President-elect Trump is taking on the Intelligence Committee, siding with Julian Assange of WikiLeaks on Twitter. That's all ahead of his briefing on Friday. Also, cold air, Arctic blast now coming in. Snow and ice already slamming the west, shutting down an interstate. And this morning, a deep chill is moving into the Midwest with possible wind chills below, wow, negative 45 degrees.
All right, it's 52 here today, though, right? Oh, not to rub it in or anything. Also this morning, everyone talking about this video, that 2-year-old surviving after his twin brother saved him from a fallen dresser. Well, now their mom is speaking out. She talks about what really happened, where she was when it was going on, and of course, how she felt when she saw that video.
But every time you see that video, but just so glad they're okay.
Yes.
We're going to begin, though, in this half hour with an ABC News exclusive, an unprecedented look at a murder case that rocked a generation. 2 Beverly Hills brothers, Eric and Lyle Menendez, convicted of killing their wealthy parents in a grisly double murder. It's been nearly 3 decades ago. It's a case that our Terry Moran has covered. You've covered this from the very start.
I have, a long time ago. And you know, Robin, guys, it's a case that has haunted me all these years since I covered it as a young reporter. It's one of those that just grabbed a hold of me and never let go. The Menendez brothers trial, at the time, it was called the crime of the century when it happened. And it had all the ingredients. Murder in Beverly Hills, a family shattered in the most horrifying way. And as the case unfolded, shocking accusations of what was really going on in that home. The victims, Jose Menendez, a Cuban immigrant to this country who'd made good, becoming a corporate chieftain on both coasts and ultimately rising to become a Hollywood power broker, and his wife, Kitty, who seemed an all-American wife and mom, and they seemed to have it all. Their sons, Lyle, 21 at the time of the crime, and Eric, 18, good-looking, outgoing young guys, star tennis players. They had the brightest of futures ahead. But behind those closed doors, the Menendez family was a cauldron of lies and secrets. And on August 20th, 1989, in Beverly Hills, it all boiled over. Jose and Kitty Menendez brutally murdered, and then, shockingly, Lyle and Eric, their sons, arrested for the crime. And in this ABC News documentary, we gather so many of the voices of the participants. You'll hear them, including for the first time in 20 years, we hear from Lyle Menendez by phone from prison about that night.
My name is Lyle Menendez. I've been in prison for 26 years. I am the kid that did kill his parents, and no river of tears has changed that, and no amount of regret has changed it.
Beverly Hills is a quiet town. Even the business district kind of folds up at 7 o'clock. We average 2 murders a year and really don't know what you're in for when you get a murder call.
What's the problem?
I'm trying to kill my parents.
Were they shot?
12 shots in the middle of Beverly Hills on a Sunday night, and no one calls the police. We're waiting at the house. No one shows up. And I still can't believe it. I'm sitting on the stairs afterwards thinking the police are going to be there in seconds. They've got roving patrol.
And people, many people did hear the shots. Many neighbors came in and said they heard all these shots, but nobody called because they just figured this is Beverly Hills. This doesn't happen in Beverly Hills.
So you called the police, but at that point you had already decided.
We were very stunned, and we felt that we would go to jail, obviously, and it was a selfish reason to just not want to have to go through that.
by this intersection, I could actually see the police tape and the police cars in front of Menendez's house. As we walked in the front door, the only thing I could really detect is the silence. And then in the back of the foyer was this library family room, which is where the murder occurred. The television was on, so it was just a normal evening for them. Kitty was wearing white. She was covered in blood. Jose had a shotgun blast to the back of his head. It was really horrendous.
When Jose and Kitty were found dead, the police didn't do what they normally do in a case like that.
There are things that could have been done that night that would have proven that they were the killers. The murder weapons were in their cars. Nobody bothered to look.
At the time, we felt they were victims, and you're not going to press them because their parents just got blown away.
I remember it was the morning after the murder. I pulled up to the house, and then all of a sudden, my car door slammed open, and Eric jumped in and scared the hell out of me. Frantically said to me that they needed my husband's legal help. I said, Eric, what's going on here? Well, he says, Mrs. Wright, my parents were murdered last night. And I said, what? He was not sad, not crying, no emotion whatsoever. Who would think of legal advice the day of your parents' murder? Unless you're guilty.
But the real issue in this case, of course, wasn't who did it. The Menendez brothers quickly confessed after they were arrested. The question is, why did they kill their parents? And what they said about that in court, claims of a life of abuse, including sexual abuse at the hands of their father, that shocked the country, triggered a national debate. And one last thing, that interview with Barbara Walters back in 1995, that is the last time they saw each other. And if the penal system works, they will never see each other again.
What is it like? You said in the beginning that this is something that has stayed with you all of these years, covering it.
It was so emotional, if you remember. Their testimony about this, their claims that this family was actually a toxic cauldron that they lived in all those years. And to be in that room where they told the story of their lifetime of abuse, which many people didn't believe, some people did. It was haunting. It really was.
And we're going to hear some things we haven't heard before in this documentary.
Yes, indeed. It's good work.
All right. Take care of that cold, Terry. All right. Truth and Lies, The Menendez Brothers, airs tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern right here on ABC.
And then coming up here on our big board, those new concerns about fumes on planes after 7 flight attendants were hospitalized. And the new virtual nanny that reads and sings to your kids. But the question is, could it put your privacy at risk? We're back in 2 minutes.
They say 500,000 people watch the Boston Marathon.
Hey! Just moments ago, explosions near the finish line.
We got a possible suspect.
Is that the guy?
We're dealing with 2 bombers.
Every inch of this city is getting searched. We're tracking reports. He's on his way to New York.
The world is watching. Clock is ticking.
They messed with the wrong city. Patriots Day, rated R.
Delicious freshly brewed coffee comes at a price. It's $1. Go to McDonald's and get $1 any size coffee or $2 small specialty beverage. And every 6th McCafe beverage is free with our app. Wake up and win the day.
Hurry into Lowe's today for huge deals across the entire store. Now get 10% off appliances $3.96 or more, like this washer and dryer pair for only $3.29 each, and this Whirlpool refrigerator for $9.98. Don't miss out on the season's best savings right now at Lowe's.
Discover Card? I'm not a customer, but I'm calling about that credit scorecard. Give it? Sure, it's free for everyone. Oh, well, that's nice. And checking your score won't hurt your credit. Oh! I'm so proud of you. Well, thank you.
Free at discover.com/credit scorecard, even if you're not a customer.
You two really like dolls. Mommy said you can spend the night or longer. Would you like to? Drive.
Good choice, kid. Wonderful halos. Sweet, seedless, easy peel.
Like most women, you have a morning routine to help you be your best all day. But if you suffer from heavy periods due to uterine fibroids, being your best is usually preparing for the worst. Doctors are now conducting a research study evaluating an investigational medication that may reduce bleeding due to uterine fibroids. Qualified participants will receive study-related care and investigational medication at no cost. To see if you qualify, visit myfibroidstudy.com or call 1-844-35-STUDY.
And we're back now with our big board. We want to start out with some new concerns over harmful fumes inside planes after 7 crew members for American Airlines were hospitalized complaining of a strange odor on a flight to Orlando. That happened on Tuesday. Our aviation consultant Steve Gaynor has been looking into this. And Steve, this comes on the heel of another incident. British Airways flight 12 flight attendants acted strangely after some toxic fumes reported in their cabin as well. So what's going on here?
The simple answer, George, is no one really knows. This is very difficult to figure out what's going on. It's not easy to detect. If you're going to ask somebody who's fixing your airplane to find the source of an odor, it's not like there's a warning light in the cockpit. It's not like you can see some sort of a leak. So it's very hard to detect. It's also not persistent. The cabin air is recirculated almost every 3 minutes. And so while you may have something that occurs on the airplane, by the time it lands, it's probably not there anymore. The only common thread we can find is that it tends to happen on older airplanes. So as the airplanes get old, they may leak fluids into the air conditioning system.
Well, Steve, as you can imagine, American Airlines released a statement and saying in part, we take cabin odor issues seriously and have devoted extensive efforts over time to address these types of concerns. So what do you think the airline should do here, Steve?
Robin, we did some digging, and we found that this is the 3rd instance of this particular American Airlines aircraft having reports of fumes in the cabin, so just in the past 2 months. And so American obviously has a problem with this aircraft that needs to get fixed. But in general, this is not an airline problem. It's a manufacturer problem. Now, the manufacturers insist that their cabin air is good. But the FAA has told us that they don't have the resources or the people to do a true scientific study or to monitor cabin air. So I think until we get some science behind this, we're going to see more of these kinds of stories.
Okay. All right, Steve, thank you. Next up, it was a huge year, as you know, for holiday shopping in 2016. Sales up to over $196 billion. And yet, despite that, a new report in USA Today reveals more stores may soon be closing in 2017. Becky Worley joins us now. So record sales, Becky, but yet stores are closing. What's going on here?
Counterintuitive, right?
Yeah.
This year, holiday sales up 4%, biggest shopping season since 2011. Retail consultants, though, expecting a continued closure of brick and mortar stores. Remember, Macy's said they're going to close 100 stores in 2017. Why? Well, you guessed it, the big sales growth was online, not helping the brick and mortar locations. Another crazy stat to add in here, some estimates rolling in that there are about $60 billion in returns this holiday season. Tomorrow is National Returns Day. Apparently this is a thing now. According to UPS, they estimate tomorrow alone 1.3 million packages will be shipped back to retailers. In these individual returns, they're a huge hassle for retailers. So instead of putting them back on the shelves, they cut their losses, they send them to liquidators. You may have seen these. These are online pop-up liquidators. They unload the returns for pennies on the dollar. That continues to cost retailers and eat into their profits. The upside for us, we get those items on sale for 30 to 60% off.
Yeah, good deals. Some great deals. And there's some big sales coming up, too.
Yeah, we're talking about sites like Zulily, Secondipity, Amazon Warehouse. There's one called Blink with a Q. As the returns come in, George, the inventory and the price cuts get better. A couple examples. I saw a designer purse for $39, big cut. Leather boots, more than half off. And there are electronics too. We saw Beats headphones on sale. They're $129 bucks new, but at Blink they're $89. The only difference, guys, the box is open.
Oh, you can live with that. Yeah.
Not so bad. Okay, Becky Worley, thanks very much. We're going to move on now to some privacy concerns over a new device to monitor toddlers and babies. It's the newest creation from Mattel. It's called Aristotle, being called an Amazon Echo for kids. And David Pogue, the tech critic for Yahoo Finance, has all the details on this. Dave, explain what this is.
Well, first of all, it doesn't come out until June. The reason they're announcing it now here in Las Vegas at the big Consumer Electronics Show is they hope to get a little press, like maybe they'll get on Good Morning America. I don't know, but basically it's this cylinder. It has two basic functions. First of all, it does everything the Amazon Echo does. You can say, when was George Washington born, or what's the weather tomorrow, or what's my commute look like? But it also has a huge list of child-specific things that it can do by voice. For example, if your baby wakes up in the night, it'll play a lullaby and show a gentle light show, hopes of lulling your kid back to sleep. For toddlers, it comes with a little camera. The toddler can show flashcards to it, and it can identify what's on the cards, or it can play games. Say, what animal says moo? And the kid says cow, and it says you're right. And then by the time you've got a tween, it'll do homework help, answer questions like that.
Well, David, there are some people who are a little bit concerned about this being geared toward children, especially young children.
Yeah, anything to do with children and technology that we don't understand is inherently frightening. We've all seen that clip that's been going around virally lately of a toddler speaking to an Amazon Echo, and the Echo actually responded with text from an adult website.
Yep.
Of course, one of the parents was horrified and the other was laughing his head off. But Mattel says that they, right from the outset, they've built in security and privacy. First of all, this thing understands children's voices, which the Amazon Echo and Siri do not. The other big concern, of course, is the way these things all work is when you say something to it, Aristotle, what's the weather tomorrow, it transmits your request to the mothership company, back to Apple or Amazon or Mattel. Their computers process it and send it back to you. That's inherently scary to some parents. So Mattel insists that these utterances are encrypted on both ends. It can't be hacked. And as for the little camera that comes with the Aristotle, it has a link to your phone. It's never transmitted online. It's never sent out of your house.
Wow.
I know.
Not the last we're going to hear about that one.
But Becky, seeing Becky's reaction to everything that David was saying, because she's our tech guru and a mom too, boy, priceless.
Oh, I know. Smart baby monitor, I love it. But our kids' brains on artificial intelligence seems like that needs a little more research.
I'm with you, Becky.
Okay, well, we have 6 months not coming out for a little while.
Thank
you all very much. And coming up in 2 minutes, a lot of questions about what really happened in that video we'll be showing you of the toddlers. There it is right there. We're going to hear from the mom of these boys coming up.
Like everybody, I want to live a life that's full of the happiness found in living the life I want, full of the energy that comes with good health, full of the great foods I love. And at Weight Watchers, I don't have to choose between weight loss and living well. I live well while losing weight. It is easier than it's ever been, and not one day have I felt deprived. Most important, it works!
Join for free now and lose 10 pounds on us.
You've always wanted to be able to leave something for your children or loved ones. How about leaving them a lifetime of financial security? It's the Publishers Clearinghouse $5,000 a week forever prize. Win, and you get $5,000 a week for your life. Then after that, someone you choose gets $5,000 a week for their life. Leave a legacy for your family. Watch your mail or go to PCH.com and enter. February 24th, you could win $5,000 a week forever.
Ugh, heartburn.
Sorry, ma'am, no burning here. Try Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Gummies. They don't taste chalky and work fast.
Incredible. Can I try? She doesn't have heartburn.
Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Gummies. Enjoy the relief. Start the new year with deals on new floors from Lumber Liquidators. We've got pre-finished hardwood from $189, and some of our best distressed styles are now on sale. Get more deals from just 59 cents and special financing. Don't miss it. Get to Lumber Liquidators today.
What are you doing right now?
Nothing.
Every so often, a movie comes along that takes your breath away. Nominated for 7 Golden Globe Awards and a winner of 8 Critics' Choice Awards, including Best Picture. Don't miss the movie of the year. La La Land, rated PG-13, now playing everywhere.
And we're back now with that video that has so many parents holding their breath. Twin boys thankfully surviving after that dresser falls, and now their mom is speaking out. And ABC's Kana Whitworth has more from LA on that. Good morning to you, Kana.
Amy, good morning. Kaylee Shoaf says she knows how lucky her family is. Every 30 minutes, a child is injured by tipping TVs or furniture. And this morning, she has a message for all parents. It's a terrifying video for parents everywhere. 2-year-old twin brothers Brock and Brody Schoaf seen on their nanny cam playing in their Utah bedroom. The curious toddlers climbing into a drawer, sending the large dresser crashing down. For 2 minutes, Brody tries to free his trapped brother, eventually pushing the dresser just enough for Brock to wiggle out.
Are you strong? Yeah! Yeah!
The boy's mother says she thought her sons were sleeping, but when she checked the baby monitor and saw the toppled dresser,
I ripped off the covers, ran downstairs, flung open the door, and saw them quietly playing in the corner by their crib.
The video serving as a frightening reminder to the Schoafs and other parents about unanchored furniture in homes.
My heart sank. I honestly felt like the worst parent ever, and it was such an easy thing for me that I could have done to prevent what happened to my children.
IKEA, the maker of the dresser who issued a recall last year, reminding its customers that the best way to prevent the tip over of chests of drawers is to anchor products to the wall. The twins escaped unharmed, and this morning their mother encouraging all parents to bolt down their dressers, shelves, and TVs.
We were completely lucky. I think that we were blessed, and it could have been bad.
Well, we want to point out here that Consumer Product Safety Commission urges parents to also avoid displaying items where kids might be tempted to climb up and reach for them. Guys?
Yeah, it looks like that's what the twins were attempting to do there. All right, Kina, thank you very much. You know who's a new mom? Janet Jackson, the first-time mom at the age of 50. All the details about her brand new baby boy.
Coming up, GMA's Real Money, brought to you by Voya Financial, changing the way you think of retirement.
As soon as I left the hospital after a DVT blood clot, I sure had a lot to think about. What about the people I care about, including this little girl? And what if this happened again? I was given warfarin in the hospital, but wondered, was this the best treatment for me? So I asked my doctor, and he recommended Eliquis. Eliquis treats DVT and PE blood clots and reduces the risk of them happening again. Yes, Eliquis treats DVT and PE blood clots. Eliquis also had significantly less major bleeding than the standard treatment. Both made me turn around my thinking.
Don't stop Eliquis unless your doctor tells you to. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve or abnormal bleeding. If you had a spinal injection while on Eliquis, call your doctor right away if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. While taking Eliquis, you may bruise more easily, and it may take longer than usual for bleeding to stop. Seek immediate medical care for sudden signs of bleeding, like unusual bruising. Eliquis may increase your bleeding risk if you take certain medicines. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures.
Eliquis treats DVT and PE blood clots, plus had less major bleeding. Both made Eliquis the right treatment for me. Ask your doctor if switching to Eliquis is right for you.
For I can't help falling in love with you.
Give extra, get extra.
Feel a cold coming on? Zicam Cold Remedy Nasal Swabs shorten colds with a snap and reduce symptom severity by 45%. Shorten your cold with a snap with Zicam.
Hidden Figures is the movie everyone is celebrating.
Deal me in.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies, we can change the world.
Hidden Figures, rated PG.
Hi, my name is Tom.
I'm Raph.
My name is Anne.
I'm one of the real-life attorneys
You can talk to through LegalZoom.
Don't let unanswered legal questions hold you up.
Because we're here.
We're here.
and we've got your back.
LegalZoom. Legal help is here.
Who wants 50% more calcium?
I'm not drinking that. Who you pouring that for, man?
Order for you.
Fine, but not out here. Dang it, so good.
Silk. Tastes like better.
If you want to sell your car, CarMax will give you 7 days to consider their offer. Why 7 days? Science. Join me as we walk through the 7 stages of decisioning. 1. Consideration. 2. Questioning. 3. Deciding. 4. Queso. 5. Nap. 6. Sudoku. 7. Tambourine practice. I think I made my point. They'll give you an offer for your car. You take 7 days to think about it.
Back here on Good Morning America, high schoolers from the Bronx were just putting on a show. They were singing some Grease, and awesome. But I wanted to tell you, Orlando yesterday tied a record at 86. And look at this video out of Florida. Ooh, wow, that double rainbow. All right, this segment brought to you by CarMax, your local news and weather. Next.
With Persona Doctors, you'll want to eat less, so you'll lose more. We prescribe powerful medications that curb your appetite, burn fat, boost your energy with natural hormones that keep the weight off. It'll change your life, guaranteed.
Book now and get our best B12 shot free.
Thank you for dining with us. Hope to see you again soon. Thank you so much.
Whoa. I got this. Just gotta reach the check. Almost there.
I can't reach it.
If you have alligator arms, you avoid picking up the check.
What?
That's what you do.
I got this. Thanks, Dennis.
If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
Oh, that is good crispy duck.
At Persona Doctors, we help people lose weight and change lives. We prescribe safe, powerful medications that curb your appetite, burn fat, boost your energy, with natural hormones that keep the weight off. Guaranteed.
Book now and get our best B12 shot free.
Good Morning America is brought to you by Silk Dairy-Free Plant Milk. Silk, do plants.
Tonight, a new Goldberg's inspired by Dead Poets Society.
Oh, Schmoopy, my Schmoopy!
More like Dumb Poets Society.
Name 3 types of inert gases. Regular, unleaded, farts.
New Goldberg's tonight on ABC.
One of them will completely blank it up.
Match Game returns tonight on ABC.
From ABC 7 News, this is a Good Morning Washington update.
Good morning, Washington. I'm Melanie Hastings with a check of your top stories. Transit union officials are holding a news conference today to expose what they call widespread safety failures. The union is holding that conference and presenting plans that it says WMATA needs to take to keep its workers safe. Among the contributors to today's discussion, a New York City track worker with 25 years experience. That conference starts at 1 this afternoon. Also new overnight, a fire at a popular D.C. restaurant. Around 11:30, crews had to put out a small fire at the D Street location of Rasika. That is not the original location at M Street and New Hampshire Avenue. D.C. fire crews say it was a small fire that started from a water heater. Well, after the foggy morning, a pretty nice day. Here's Veronica Johnson with your forecast.
Today's going to be one of those days where you have to get out and enjoy yourself. A little breezy, but temperatures today will top out in the lower 50s with sunshine. And then we'll be tracking this next event that comes in very late Thursday night, early part of the day on Friday. And it's looking like we're going to get a light coating of snow where traffic will be impacted. Delays looking more likely now for early Friday morning and maybe even through Friday midday. Your extended forecast, here we go. Temperatures today in the mid 50s, starting tomorrow in the 30s, right through Monday of next week.
Major gridlock on Interstate 66. Veronica, this is the second crash we've had eastbound trying to get into Centerville from Manassas. It's going to be as you approach 29, and as you can see, we are on the brakes as you make your ride through the Sudley area. And of course, that crash is blocking a lane as you approach Centerville on Interstate 66. From the Capitol Beltway near the Woodrow Wilson Bridge, still a bit foggy on northbound I-295 where we've just reopened 2 lanes. A second collision southbound at East Capitol Street. Melanie, back to you.
Thank you, Angela. And you can get more news, traffic, and weather updates on Good Morning Washington over on News Channel 8. We're going to see you back here for another local update in 30 minutes. Now we'll send it back to Good Morning America. Have a great day.
When winter is at its worst, Storm Watch 7 is at its best.
Snow pushing across the